Thanks for tuning in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to some NASCAR '07 action. Happy race day to you. For those of you that have just finished watching the NASCAR Cup Series race, as well as the live commentary stream for the NASCAR Cup Series earlier today, it is prime time action of NASCAR '07 on the channel now, as we are at the Milwaukee Mile for a 100-lap race for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is going to be interesting to see who is going to come away with the win in this one. I do not have that fast of a truck, so I did not practice, but I did qualify, and I qualified in the 20th place position. So we are starting mid-pack in this race, and it is not going to be easy. Coming in with a pretty good points lead, 149 points. That's good. We're going to need it. The flatter racetracks have been really good for me in this game, so I don't know why I'm so off the pace here today at Milwaukee. Really, it is driving me for a loop. I put the setup in that I would usually put in for a flatter, shorter racetrack, just like Milwaukee, and the car just feels really loose. It's loose on entry, it's loose on exit, so I tried to put a little bit more downforce, add a little wedge, drop the air pressure, so it might be even tighter in the race. I didn't get to race around cars in qualifying, so it might have already been tight before that anyway. We'll have to wait and see. We're starting mid-pack. Hopefully it's not too terrible of a race truck, and we can salvage a good finish. It is a short race. Again, only 100 laps. This is not very long. We got to go. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing. Oof. Trying to get back to the bottom. A little loose getting into one, though. Yeah, tight in the dirty air. As soon as that 137 truck moved in front of me in that outside lane, I could not turn. And I was afraid of that. I'm going to have to try to figure that out. Now we're stuck on the outside because that's the lane we started in. All of a sudden, Musgrave trying to get to the bottom. Got loose off the exit of the corner. Made contact with Craig Kinzer. Oh, jeez. I can't turn. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's so loose when I get off the exit of the corner. Like, I'm not turning left intentionally. Like, it just hooks a left. Good news is I'm back on the... Well, I was on the bottom. That guy sailed it in there. Is that Timothy Peters? Timothy Peters sailed it off into turn one. He hit the inside wall and then bounced into us. And just like that, despite even qualifying 20th, wasn't great. Now Musgrave's back to last. That was bad. That looked like a dive bomb out of today's NASCAR. Oh boy. This truck is evil. And Bo Phillips, who's second in points, is leading in the early laps of this race. This truck is tight and dirty air in traffic. And it's so loose on corner entry and corner exit. Triple Boomer, Wade, thanks for tuning in. Why is it 100 laps? Just because it's a 50% race. I have one more 50% race to run. And I told myself I was going to do it on a... I knew the stream was going to be short, essentially, so that's why I'm doing it on a day I had a live commentary stream. So it'd be easier for me to do a double header. I was well aware this stream is probably going to be an hour or less. But for that reason, that's why I'm doing it again on a day I stream. And I had 2 live commentary streams yesterday, so that's why I was waiting until today. Down in the grass, clipping the grass mid-corner. Darnell hit the wall behind us, and he's still going to carry more mid-corner speed. I don't know how. Guess we get more corner exit speed as a result. I don't like being in traffic. This truck does not handle well. I'm down in the grass. It turns too easy in the middle of the corner, if that makes any sense at all. It turns so easy that's why it feels loose. And that inside wall going into turn one scares me so much as well. We need this race to go green. We need the field to get spread out. That's going to help me more than anything. Tigers won. Unfortunately, the Twins and the Mariners won too, though, so we didn't really gain anything. But the good news is we did win, so we didn't lose a game. Yeah, Tigers game was about over by the time I went to stream earlier. They were just getting into the ninth when I started the Cup stream. Oh, jeez. It's amazing how tight that was right in the middle of the quarter. Felt like it was going to be loose again, and then it didn't turn straight up into Timothy Peters. It's so... I mean, I don't know. I can't get a feel for it, really. To be fair, Timothy Peters is the reason I'm this far back in the field anyway. So if somebody were to get basically shit-canned up the racetrack, he was the one that deserved it. He's the one that hit the inside wall into turn one underneath us that pushed us all the way back to 35th after starting 20th. Already down to 89 laps to go. Should be a one-stop race, I would imagine. Twins playing Cleveland. Yeah, that's going to... Well, the problem is we're playing the Royals, though. The Royals are hot right now, too, so it's going to be tough. Tough series for both teams. I think Chapman was going to take a swing at me. Oh, boy. That was on me. That was clearly on me. I could have lifted, and I chose not to, and that was nearly a caution. 3 wide, off turn 4. Not a good move there for Ted Musgrave. Not a great move by the veteran. That, I just got tight again in dirty air. Well, and then I turned across this front bumper, which didn't help matters. I'm going to lose a bunch of spots. Jeez Louise. I can't figure this truck out. Save my life right now. Sometimes it turns and sometimes it just goes straight. It looks like I don't know how to drive. That's what it looks like. The truck is so bad. Yeah, I mean, it either goes straight or it turns too much. There's no in between. First winning season for the Royals since 2015. Yeah, it's been a minute for the Tigers, too. Chapman trying to clear us out off the inside wall into us. Luckily, Musgrave holds on again. As hard as we got hit in the left rear corner panel, I'm surprised we held on. I mean, that's the crazy thing. It's like my truck's getting too tight, but then we also have trucks dive bombing on us too. So it's kind of going hand in hand here. KK, thanks for tuning in. Lock in. I'm trying. I am trying. I would assume I'm going to get better with this racetrack as the race goes on, just because I get more laps. And trying to figure it out. I don't know what to do setup-wise that'll help it. Because it's so random on whether it turns or not. Like, I can't figure out why it's shoving. It definitely wants to shove more when I'm in dirty air. Well, like, when I have clean air and there's no trucks around me, like, it's probably going to stick this corner. I'm far enough behind the rest of the field. Yeah, like, this corner, it's stuck perfectly fine. No issues. So if I could get track position and get to the lead, honestly, I think I'll be all right. But in traffic, this thing's evil. And it turned too much there, and I'm on the apron. But it also didn't get tight because I was in the clean air because I was on the apron. So, oh boy. I just want this race to be over with at this point. That's all I want. Get me out of here. I don't understand how it could be so good at New Hampshire and so bad here. It's like the same track. This track's more narrow, I'd say, than New Hampshire, but still. Halfway out of gas, lap 20, so it looks like it's going to be a two-stop race here today for Ted Musgrave. So instead of a one-stopper, it's going to be a two-stopper in this 50% race. That was on me. It didn't get loose that time. I just clipped the corner too early. I will say, with the truck being as tight as it is, you know, I'm trying to turn a little earlier. Sometimes it turns too much. But turning early definitely costed me there. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to this race on paper. Again, the flatter, shorter tracks are my specialty in this game. That's just not the case. This is going to be 3 rough finishes in a row for Ted Musgrave. Like, we are nearly blowing this gigantic points lead here. We built up early in the season. 9.3 seconds off the lead. Bo Phillips is putting a beating on the field. A 191 truck out in front right now. Set sail. Took a couple laps for him to get to the lead. He's looking for his 5th win of the season. Remember, he didn't even run the last race. That's why we have a 149-point lead. He's ran 1 less race than us. So he's about to win 5 of... if he wins this, he'll win literally 50% of the races he's ran this year. 10 races, 5 wins. An amazing season from the fantasy driver, Bo Phillips. Little bump draft down the back straightaway in that 123 truck. Really good turn to get into the corner that time. 3 wide underneath him and the 131. Musgrave almost back up to where he started. Good crossover. Good crossover by the 123. Had to let him go. I didn't want to pinch him off and make contact again. I'm trying to be better about that. It's going to save my tires. Double crossover, turns 1 and 2. Musgrave gets back around him again. Four and a half sacks for Aiden. I was watching the first quarter of that game because that was the game I had on my local listing for Fox. He had 3 sacks in the first quarter. I was like, oh boy. Didn't matter though. They didn't even win. That Buccaneers team looks really good this year, though, I will say. Baker had 4 touchdowns last week, and even when he wasn't on his best game, they still won this week. Their defense is good. I mean, there's a reason why I passed his prime. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with that team a few years ago. Got weapons. Oh. Packers were on. Hey, man. They won today. They won today with a backup quarterback. And the Lions couldn't even win with their normal lineup. Musgrave may lose the bottom again. A little contact. Yeah, I was listening to the Packers game. I need to get YouTube TV so I can get Sunday ticket because I got a 3-week free trial if I sign up for the ticket. I thought about doing it today, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to watch the entire Packers game anyway, so that's the only reason I didn't do it. I think I might do it next week, though, with not streaming the race on Sunday because they're running Saturday night. Yeah, living close to Detroit, when I knew the Lions were on at 1 o'clock, I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to get the Packers game in my region. Oh, well, at that time I overdrove the corner. I locked up the front tire just a bit. That's great fighting for the bottom. Teammate Todd Bodine still in 16th. I mean, honestly, it's been a pretty good rally even just to get to where we're at right now in the running order for Ted Musgrave. With this being a two-stop race, that window is open. It's a great corner for Musgrave. Fastest lap of the race for Ted that last time. And maybe the long run race truck is the way to go here for the number 9. Truck's pitting. Big run on Craig Kinzer. Clears him off turn 4. Craig Kinzer almost getting back underneath the 9 truck. Ted Musgrave, close call there. Bo Phillips still out on the racetrack. A couple other leaders pit that time. I want to see if we can get 5 bonus points for leading a lap, potentially. Bo Phillips hasn't pit. Musgrave up to 4th. Before everybody pitted, we were running about 15th. And only one more truck pitted that time on the lead lap in front of the leader, Musgrave. Musgrave's only going to be able to go a couple more laps. We'll see if Phillips pits this time. Yep, Phillips is in this time. Second place is also on pit road. We'll see if Musgrave leads at the line. It's going to be close. No, Musgrave did not lead that lap. I think we got to pit this time. I don't want to run out of gas. So Musgrave did not lead that lap. It's going to be a fuel-only stop here. This is going to be risky, but the truck's getting better on the long run. Can't lock the tires up into the pits this time. And it's a very narrow entry to pit road, but Musgrave is in. So no tires here. And we're going to take... Going to take 3/4 of a tank of gas here just to be safe. So fuel in this short 50% race. It's going to cycle Musgrave up into the 3rd place position. There was a whole wad of trucks in front of us before those pit stops started. That was the call. So Musgrave up to 3rd. Gains track position with the fuel-only stop. Now has to hope that these tires are going to hold to the finish. Still 7 seconds off the race lead. I mean, Phillips is absolutely dominating the field here. But the position gain was huge for Musgrave. Going from 15th to 3rd. If these tires hold up to the end of the run, it's going to be a brilliant call. Take 4 in the final stop. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Knowing we had to pit one more time yet. If this was the only stop, I definitely would have taken 4 tires. But knowing everybody has to pit one more time, maybe we catch a caution and then we take 4. That would be ideal. So in the instance that I was hoping we weren't going to get a caution, now I'm hoping we do get a caution. As long as it's within that final pit window, which we're going to have to go at least 20 laps before pitting again. Musgrave 6.9 seconds off the lead. And Phillips is almost into lap traffic. There is clean air on the nose of the 9 with the 18 truck of Bobby Hamilton Sr. far enough up ahead. Yeah, I mean, if we can get an upturn in the race truck here, what a call. Fastest lap of the day. Did a great job as well getting into the pits and not locking those tires up. Even with that narrow pit road entry here at Milwaukee. Alternating through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. Musgrave doing his best. Trying to reel in Bobby Hamilton. A wider entry into turns 1 and 2. Wider entry, low exit. Trying to get maybe more of a bit of a straight line off. Instead of trying to wrap the bottom all the way around the corner. That time wrapping the bottom and Hamilton went wide. So clean air on the nose as we get closer to the truck in front of us. Opening up the entry through 1 and 2 again. Just trying to run a different line than this 18. No, we didn't qualify well, but again, in the right circumstance, I think we still have a decent truck. Give us that clean air. The good news is taking that fuel only, it broke us out of traffic, because traffic was hectic pretty much that entire race run in mid-pack. And now with it opening up as much as it did, I definitely think we're in a better spot than we were. Well, that was a great corner for Ted Musgrave. Look at how much he closed on Bobby Hamilton that time. Big dive on corner entry. We can't get underneath the 18 yet. Musgrave looking for that pathway around. Widening the arc out a ton, getting into turns 3 and 4, but still wasn't enough to get to the inside of the 18. Big run to the bottom, a little contact. That got Musgrave loose off turn 2. But clear in the next corner through 3 and 4, and out to second is Ted Musgrave. He tries to get these older tires to hang on. Phillips dealing with dirty air in lap traffic. Ted Musgrave is not. How much ground can Musgrave gain from here to the end of the race? Last race at Michigan, that was 100 laps. We went the whole race on the same set of tires. I don't think we're going to be able to do that here. The accelerated pit window, but... I mean, the 9 truck's doing all right now. Honestly, I just think this truck is good on the long run. Because it frees up in the center of the corner more than what it was at the start of the race. So I'm scared if I take fresh tires, it might be a little too tight. Definitely have to make some adjustments if I go to make that next stop. And when we get into 40 to go, we'll be inside that pit window to make it to the finish. Loosen up slightly with the 4-tire stop. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm thankful we got a lot of clean air on this run. Really let it eat. But, I mean, that pit strategy allowed me to be able to do this, honestly. 5.2 seconds off the lead. Minute, but we're getting there. And overdrove the entry into turn 1 a bit. Couldn't get down to the bottom of the racetrack at all the way through 1 and 2. And that time I dove it in a little too early into the corner. Now we got somebody slow. Oh, there's Phillips to the lead. Somebody was slow in the middle of 1 and 2. Phillips was stuck behind him. And just like that, we have a new leader. Ted Musgrave with a pass on the outside, and now he's 1.4 seconds ahead. He's whizzing by the outside. I don't know what happened. Something happened. From 5 seconds off the lead, nonetheless. Oh, man. An overdrive of 1 and 2. That wasn't great. Stuck behind the lap truck in the 101. These older tires tougher to try to make the pass on him. And Phillips, having as fast of a truck as he has and pressure tires, he's going to try to run back into this thing. It's already just 0.6 of a second off the lead. Now I need to take 4 next stop, yeah. For sure. Pushing tight, had to lift to keep it off the wall on the exit of turn 4, and actually Phillips leads that lap at the line as a result, and he's back out in front again. I think he's faster when he's not in lap traffic. I mean, his tires as old as they are, but that gap has been caught up. I don't know exactly where Bobby Hamilton is running, but I imagine he's not that far off the lead either. And we will transfer to Todd Bodine with our first field pass of the race. Bodine back in 20th. And he's still obviously in the Hornets' nest, which is mid-pack. Tries desperately to get his truck down to the bottom of the racetrack. Got it to the bottom, hit the truck in front of him, caused the stack up, and a lot of contact with other race trucks around him. Musgrave. A little bit of a gap backwards to Phillips. Phillips behind that lap truck in the 101 again. 35 laps to go this time by. And everybody has to pit one more time. Musgrave should probably be the first to pit road. He went fuel only, but did not top off. He took just 3/4 of a tank, trying to cut the gap down. He was able to lead a few laps after Phillips got in that stall up behind a slow truck in the middle of 1 and 2. And Musgrave is only another lap or two at the most away from pitting. Still on the same tires he started the race with. Definitely going to have to change them. Going to stay out one more lap. Musgrave will pit at lap 68. Still consistently about 0.6 of a second off the lead. Just can't get much closer than that. A little tight center of the corner and the dirty air behind the lapper. Still caution-free in this 50% race. It's the fourth and final 50% race of the season. And on to pit road, and no speeding penalty there. Half around a wedge going to get taken out of the race truck. We're going to drop the air pressure 1 pound all the way around. So here we go. The money stop for the 9 team of Ted Musgrave. He's the first to pit road for the final time. Honestly, after qualifying, I didn't think I was going to have a shot of winning this race, especially knowing how this truck handled in traffic, but we'll make adjustments on this final stop. First time we're putting 4 fresh Goodyears back on the car, and hopefully this is the right adjustment from now to the finish. Got another slow truck. Ron Hornaday's blowing an engine inside of the racetrack. Hopefully that does not cause a caution, but it does cause a bit of a stack up off turn 2. Musgrave is a lap down. Needs this to cycle all the way through. Can't catch a yellow here. Next question is Phillips going to get caught up in that mess? He might. Looking at that track map, it looks like Phillips is slowing up into turn 3 and 4. A couple trucks on pit road as we run. I would not doubt that Phillips got held up at least a little bit by Hornaday, you would think. Luckily, Musgrave caught him right as he was exiting pit road. 30 laps left. And maybe pitting just a few laps before that 191 might get us out to the lead as well. How much is short pitting? A few laps going to be able to close the gap. Phillips is on his way to pit road right now. So Phillips pitting 3 laps after Musgrave. Yeah, I'm hoping I leapfrog him too. Teammate Tom Bodine down on pit road. .184, fastest lap of the day. You would think that means the adjustments that we made were in the right direction. Consider we ran our fastest lap just then. Looking like a good adjustment call, at least for the moment. I'd imagine it's going to help the truck turn in traffic, you would think. Bill Lester leading for the first time now, getting bonus points in the top 10 in the standings. Cycled ahead of Bobby Hamilton. I just saw him on pit road. Still unaware on exactly where Bo Phillips is. We're right behind his teammate Marvin Shett, so he might try to hold us up a bit. 7th place. Still waiting on a few trucks to pit. Shett on the 192 to the outside. Musgrave underneath him. 105 finally to pit road. 25 laps to go at the line this time. We still won't know who's got the fastest truck between Bo Phillips and Ted Musgrave. It looks like Phillips is still in the lead, so a fast 4-tire stop for that 191 team. Phillips is ahead, but he is in pretty dense traffic. He's got a 2.1 second advantage over Musgrave right now, as Musgrave remains in second. I'm surprised I didn't gain more time. He must not have gotten held up behind Hornaday. That's number one. Number two, we definitely didn't make a mistake on pit road. You would think pitting 3 laps earlier would have gained us that 0.6 of a second, but no, we lost about 2 seconds. Instead, we got to take our final field pass for the next couple laps here. So we drive as Todd Bodine for the final time. He is in 18th following pit stops. Really tight in that outer lane. Timothy Peters going to get by. He's on the bottom. I gave him a lot of room, and that truck on the outside in front of us really hurt the 30. It's not been a great season for Todd Bodine whatsoever. And one more lap with the 30 truck. Bodine underneath Peters. A lot of contact there. Bodine on the outside of the 4 truck. Trying to hold that all the way through turns 3 and 4. Does enough to be able to clear for 18th. Phillips has lapped quite a few trucks. 20 laps to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. Race is on. I don't know what the final score of that Tennessee-Kent State game was, but I saw it was like 71-0 at one point. And that was in the, I think it was going into the 4th. After the first quarter, I have no clue, but I'd imagine it wasn't great. Toledo Rockets, though, I was watching that game all of last night. They put a beating on Mississippi State, 41-17. They manhandled them that entire game. They were up 35-3 at halftime, early third. They were up 35-3, but 28-3 at halftime. It was a beatdown for sure. Sister goes to the University of Toledo, so we kind of root for him in this this household. I actually went to the MAC championship game last year when Toledo was playing up in Ford Field in Detroit. Fortunately, lost that game, but Miami of Ohio. Trying to focus in here. 16 laps to go. Musgrave is gaining time. We got to pass lap trucks at a more efficient rate than Phillips. That's going to be the big key on to whether or not Musgrave's going to be able to win this race. Using a little of that apron and still getting turned in the race truck without being loose in 1 and 2. Overdrove the entry to turn 3. So easy to do here. Had that problem off and on all night. Chapman in the 190 is not going to make it easy here for Ted Musgrave. This is a rival of Musgrave's, and Musgrave's going to try to dive underneath him. He's there off turn 4, or turn 2 rather, gets slammed down into the inside wall. And lost second place to Marvin Sheth as a result. Sheth to second now. That's Phillips' teammate. That was a big-time hit that costed Musgrave a lot of time. Run the rivals hard. What could I have done there? I got alongside him and he just... The problem is if I make contact with him and shove him off into the corner, I feel like I'm going to lose time too. I mean, we had the positioning on him. Got back by Marvin Sheth quickly, thankfully, for the most part. A lap and a half after that initial contact with the 190 of Chapman. Lose more time racing nice. I don't know, man. You lose a lot of time with contact. I'm scared if I hit him, it's going to get other trucks involved. And we can't cause a caution either. Musgrave down low again. That time Chapman moved himself out of the way. Musgrave was able to hold on, and it's clear. And Darnell's a pick truck is also in the way. Musgrave to the inside of the 131. 9/10 of a second off the lead, 11 laps to go. Musgrave pretty wide through 3 and 4. 10 laps to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. Brace the wheel for the... I don't have a wheel. I have an analog stick. It's hard, man. I'm still battling loose off the exit of the corner. Taking that wedge out of it. Still 7/10 back. It's 2 lap cars between the top few in the running order. And there's another lap truck lurking to the inside of Musgrave. Musgrave barely holding on in front of him. That 131 just can't seem to break away from him. Thought a lot of the grass there got loose. Down to the inside, passing a lap truck through turns 1 and 2, clean pass. .187 running well down to the inside. Musgrave had a tight ability to try to make that corner. That was very costly. That was a tight angle getting into turn 1, and Musgrave couldn't keep it off the wall nor the lap truck. Marvin Sheth now all over the back bumper of Musgrave. Musgrave's back to second. 1.7 seconds off the lead, just 6 laps to go, and now 2 lap trucks between the top 2 again. That was a mistake and a kind of a stressful situation, that's for sure. That's going to be tough to overcome. 5 laps left. 2/10 quicker than Phillips that last lap. Trying to be aggressive down on the apron. I'm doing everything I can right now. I'm trying every line. There's a lot of lap trucks that are not that far in front of the 191, but I don't know if we're going to get all the way up there before the finish. 4 laps to go. Phillips has caught those lap trucks, though. How much are they going to hold him up is going to be the question. That definitely wasn't smooth. God bless America. I mean, I don't think there was any real shot I was going to catch him anyway. Once I hit that inside wall getting into turn one. I'm barely picking up on him. 2 to go. He's still side by side with that lap truck up there, but we haven't closed the gap down anymore these last couple corners. Actually, I might be looking at Timothy Peters. I think he's already a few trucks up ahead. Yeah, he's already passed a few of them. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Bo Phillips about to win his 5th race of the season. We were only, what, 0.7 of a second back when we had the contact with Chapman. Knocked us down into the inside wall off turn 2, and we fell back a second, and never could get back within a second of Phillips again. Checkered flag in the air, and Bo Phillips dominates and wins at the Milwaukee Mile. A rough it out, tough it out second place finish for yours truly, Ted Musgrave. Marvin Shett third, Bobby Hamilton Sr. in 4th. 5th for Dante Johnson, Red Stewart 6th, Chris Parker 7th, Harold Jackson in 8th, Bill Lester 9th, and David Reagan 10th. Now, we did lead laps. We got 5 bonus points, leading for 93 of 100 laps left for the pole sitter, Bo Phillips. He dominated. There's no two ways about it. He definitely deserved to win this race. He had the fastest truck. He gets the win. Honestly, if it wasn't for that heavy lap traffic, I don't even think I would have been running him down at all there towards the finish. So, a good pit strategy. A fuel only on that second stop got us from 15th to 3rd. And then we drove up to 2nd right before the final stop, and we stayed in 2nd the rest of the race. So, outside of when Chapman knocked me into the inside wall, then I fell back to 3rd. But I got back around Sheth for 2nd pretty quickly after that in the final dozen laps. I'll take a 2nd place run. Chapman and hitting the wall cost me. Yeah, it cost me a chance at the very least, I think. Phillips did get caught up in that lap traffic quite a bit there towards the finish. No caution, 7 lead changes, 131.45 mile per hour average race speed, 45 minutes, 38 seconds total time in the race. Again, 1.3 second margin of victory. We started 20th, and honestly, I mean, like I said, it started 20th. I only got to 15th the entire first full fuel run. That pit strategy got me a top 5 today. I don't know that I would have been able to drive up there if I took 4 tires on the first stop and the second stop. I might have gotten into the top 10, but yeah, passing was so tough. So, I'm proud of the work we did. I mean, we led laps. Thankfully, the only reason I even led laps is because somebody blew an engine right in front of the leader. And we gained from 5 seconds to the lead. I think it was Clausen, because Hornaday's engine failure was after that. So 2 DNFs, Art Clausen and Ron Hornaday. Lap 56 and lap 71 were the only 2 DNFs. And we had 16 trucks finish on the lead lap. Our teammate Todd Bodine finished in 14th on the lead lap. It was a decent run for him. He picked up some spots late. I'll give him that, I guess. And Phillips is going to gain in the point standings, but not by a lot. I'm all right with this 2nd place finish. I just cannot believe we're lucky he missed a race. If he didn't miss the last race at Michigan, when I finished 21st nonetheless, then I'd be in trouble right now, honestly. Yeah, 5 wins on the season for Bo Phillips. Our next race is going to be at Kansas Speedway. So, hopefully that has better go. The intermediate program's been tough for me, though. Honestly, the way this race started, I didn't think I was going to finish anywhere near the top 10. I thought we were going to finish around where we started in 20th. And, yeah, that pit strategy was huge. Especially with Phillips getting the max points today. The pit strategy was huge. Pit strategy honestly saved me probably 50-plus points today. So that's massive. Ted Musgrave still 134 points ahead of Bo Phillips. Chris Parker's still third. Lester's still fourth. And most of the top 10 stays the same. Hornaday of Blue and Engine is 10th in the standings now. So we'll see how it goes. I want to win the most races on the season. I don't know that it's possible. I mean, the intermediate program, I have struggled in intermediate tracks. We got another one at Kansas coming up. So, we'll see how that goes during the week. But our chances aren't great. Good news is we have a comfortable points lead. And again, like I said, good news is we're lucky he missed a race. Because otherwise, if he didn't miss that race, he'd probably be in the points lead right now. Missing that one race probably costed him well over 100 points. So we're good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the like button on the stream if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe for more NASCAR content. Aaron's 499 Talladega tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern will be live. Talladega, NASCAR 07. Dave Blaney, Nextel Cup Series race. Should be a good one. Hope to see you tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for watching, everyone.